Hey guys, in this example video, we're going to be going over how to find a line of best fit with Desmos. So hang tight. This video is going to get kind of complicated. We're used to having the handheld calculators. That's how I usually teach it. But we're doing this digitally. You don't necessarily have the handy-dandy graphing calculator at the house. And then also Desmos calculator, the graphing calculator, is being incorporated into the online EOG and EOC systems that North Carolina uses. So, what better time than go ahead and have you guys train on that system as well. So bear with me. Let's hopefully this doesn't get too complicated. So we're going to plug this table into the Desmos calculator so we can graph it. So I actually have the screen up on a different monitor. So if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at the points to plug into Desmos, but you all can have it on a separate tab. You could take Desmos out and do like the screen split. Or you can write down the information, so then on your practice assignment, it's very easier or much easier to put into Desmos. But anyways, enough time on that. So we're going to go on desmos.com. The link is on your practice assignment, or just type in desmos.com. You're going to hit start graphing. Let me move me out of the way. And you're going to hit create account if you have not done so already, or sign in. I've already created an account, so I'm going to sign in with Google and choose my Capital Encore email address. Okay, so first thing is first, you're going to go up here to the plus sign and hit add item. We're going to add in a table. So our X values are going to be the X column. The Y value is going to be the Y column. In this case, the number of people is our X values. Now you can toggle back and forth between an X and a Y. I prefer just to list all the X's first and then all the Y's first. Like just go right down that table. That's much easier for me. But what I meant by toggle was doing 2 and then going over and typing in 360. And then going back over, but I'm just going to go through and put all X's first. So I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to type in 12, 8, 3, 4, 9, 1, 10, 11, 5, and then 8. And then I'm going to go back up where I put in 360. Make sure that your points line up as well, so that the X that is on the table matches the X that is on the table on the Google document as well. So you want to make sure that 12 matches up with 90. You want to make sure that 8 goes with 160, 3 goes with 300, 4 goes with 275, 9, 250, 1, 400, 10, 125. Like you want to make sure that these are matching up side by side. 11, 110, 5 was 220, and then 8 was 125. And if you have something left over or there's not enough room, you need to go back through your numbers to make sure you didn't miss one. Okay, so now that those are entered, oh no, they're not on my graph. Well, you need to zoom out. So as you zoom out, keep going, they will start to appear. Now this looks a little funky. It is a negative slope because it's going downhill. However, the dots still, I don't like the way it looks. So I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to change my X and Y axis. So I'm going to make my X axis just start at 0. I don't need any negative numbers. I don't have any negatives on my X. And let's just have it stop at my highest X value was 11 or 12, I'm sorry. So we're just going to make it go to 15 and have the step or the count be, I want it to go by 1s. I don't want it to skip a number. Okay, the Y axis, we had no negative numbers, so let's take out the negative. And my highest Y value was 400, so let's just go ahead and go to 450. And let's have its step or its count go by 25s or 50s. It doesn't necessarily matter, but I just want my graph to look a little bit better. Okay, so now that I have my graph over here, it looks a little better. I can see that it is a negative slope because from reading left to right, it's going downhill. I can zoom out just a little bit and click and drag. Okay, so here's where the complicated part comes in. I want to know the line of best fit. I want the equation. So as you can recall back in earlier in the 8th grade, we found the equation of a line that was y equals mx plus b. M was your slope, b was your y-intercept, and then the y and x was a value. So again, that was y equals mx plus b, and we're going to be using that same concept with scatter plots as well. So we're going to be finding the line of best fit, so later we can start predicting other values or other data with using that line. So enough of me talking. I'm going to go to part number 2 here, and we're going to start typing in that. Exit there. Okay, figure that out. So we're going to click on this little keyboard. Okay, and on this keyboard, we're going to go Y, and I want it to be a sub 1. So just like exponents that raise it up at the very top, a sub 1 is going to put it down below. And you're going to click A, B, C to get to that. And this is like kind of like the opposite or inverse, not inverse, let me not use that word, but it's different from an exponent. It's going to show up below instead of above. So we want it to be Y sub 1. And see how whenever you put in 1, it comes a little bit below the Y value. Okay, so I want to click off of that because I don't want anything else that I type to be on the same level as that number 1. Okay, and I want it to not necessarily equal per se, but I'm going to use this little squiggly guy here. Okay, and as we can remember, the next part of that is M of my Y equals MX plus B. And then I'm going to use X sub 1. Okay, it's starting. Okay, and then I want to add B to that. Y equals MX plus B. Oops. And okay, now see, this is what I meant. I don't want everything else that I typed to go down below, so I need to get rid of all that. And start back over. Y sub 1. Click off of it, so whenever you type in plus B, it goes back up to the regular form. And enter. And we don't need this one. Okay, so now you can see that my Y equals MX plus B is graphed inside. Desmos did that all for us. And the key parts that you need to look at happen to be M. So this part right here is very important. That's our slope. So in my formula, Y equals MX plus B, the slope is negative 25. 0.8, or you can round up to negative 26, and the B value is going to be 391. So as I put that into the equation, I would write that down as Y equals negative 25, let's say 0.8, X plus 391. So this is what the formula would end up looking like. Y equals 25X plus negative 25X plus 8. Y equals negative 25.8x plus 391. So you would choose, once we get to it, an example or a multiple choice that's closer to that. Okay, now we are going to figure out whenever it's a graph. So look here, I did the table and I'm going to insert my picture. I forgot to demonstrate that part. So again, you're going to go up here to this little share guide, export image. A medium square is fine, and we're going to download. It pops up here at the bottom, and all you need to do is click and drag inside the table box, and you can reformat it by shrinking it if you really want to, so it all fits on one page. Again, this is your document. You can do what you want to. Okay, now the next one that you have to enter is a bunch of graphs. And then on your practice assignment, you'll see entering graphs as well. So something that I have done is I took my sheet of paper and I wrote down my X and Y coordinates that I saw on the graph. That way it can help me because you're going to need X and Y coordinates on a sheet of paper to actually put into the Desmos table. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and clear this one out. Settings, delete all, and we're going to add a new table. I'm going to put in the table the point values that I have listed down. So I got 1 for X, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and then a 10. Okay, now for my Y values, I got 4, 7, 7, 9, 10, 11, let me make it. Pause a second, make sure 5 matches with 11. Okay, 6 goes with 12, 16, 8, 17, 9, 19, and 10, 20. Okay, so now that your information is inside the table, let me hide the keyboard just real quick. We're going to go down to number 2, and we're going to enter, recap. We need to be able to see the scatter plot. Okay, there's the scatter plot. We can see that it has a positive correlation or a positive slope going on. Okay, and I'm going to click the keyboard and we're going to figure out our line of best fit. So to do so, remember the equation is y equals mx plus b. It's just going to look differently when I enter it into Desmos. So we're going to go to y, and it was y sub 1. Okay, and the little squiggly guy here for the equals. And I did it again where I didn't click off of it. See? Okay, click off of it first and then do the sub 1. And I need m x sub 1. Click off of it. Click off of it. There we go. And do plus b. Enter. Okay, we can hide the keyboard. Now you can see that my line of best fit is graphed in there with my scatter plot. And the key parts that you want to focus on are the parameters per se, and that is m, which is our slope, b, which is our y-intercept. So our slope is 1.9. We can go ahead and round that to 2. So example number 2, y equals 2x, and b is plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to, now that my line is in there, I'm going to share this. Export. I want it to download, and we're going to click and drag in as well. Okay, let me resize this so it's not taking up the entire page. And something I forgot to answer on the first one was entering in my line of best fit. So this one I got y equals 2x plus 1. So make sure you answer that question. I'm going to go back up and answer the first one real quick. We got right here y equals negative 25 point. I can't type today. X plus 391. Okay, so make sure you have typed in your equation of best fit. You have inserted a picture. You, again, when she gets to the graph one, cheat, write down the answers on a sheet of paper, sticky note, your arm, the table, something, and key them into a table on Desmos. And then make sure you go and you enter in your line of best fit that Desmos gives you. And then again, you can rewind, you can pause, you can watch this video as many times as you need to make sure that you know what to enter to get the line of best fit. Best of luck to you. And again, we're starting to use Desmos. I know I prefer the handheld calculator, but Desmos is starting to be plugged in and utilized on online testing now. So this is a great resource to make sure that you know how to use going into high school, because that will be uploaded and available as a calculator feature on your EOC. So again, best of luck on today's assignment, and if you need me, let me know.